Onyx 1-2 Mike Oscar, runway 27, clear for takeoff.
Good morning and welcome to a new week, Calm Cockpit listeners. Happy Monday morning briefing episode from us here at the Calm Cockpit. I'm John Niehaus, normally your co-host. I am your host for this particular episode. I haven't gotten to do one of these in a little while, so I'm excited to be here with you. I took inspiration from Geeta's last Monday briefing where she talked about the top 5 apps that would be useful to non-pilots, and I wanted to share a list myself. Now, everything that is all the rage right now is supplements, right? Everybody's talking about, oh, I take this, I take that, it does this, it does that. And I wanted to share some of the things that maybe I've gotten on board with. And I want to sort of preface anything that I say by a couple things, sort of disclaimer here. I'm not a doctor. I can't claim to be a doctor. So what do I know anyways? Take anything I say with a grain of salt. You have to do what's right for you. Consult a physician if it's something that you're instituting into your life. Obviously, don't take anything that would invalidate your medical and would be something you'd be allergic to. So don't do those things. To the best of my ability, anything I'm about to say has no bearing on your medical, so your AME should not get angry at you. So that aside, I want to talk about the top 5 sort of daily or even supplementally used supplements that I have found that either work for me or have a really great placebo effect, because why not believe in that? If it doesn't do anything, but it makes you think you're doing something and that ends up affecting your performance in a positive way, so what? That sounds great. So I'm a firm believer in as long as you feel good about what you're doing and you're seeing a positive increase in your performance, then why not? So let's get started with this. I even have a couple bonus things I want to talk about at the end. Number 5, let's talk about green drinks. Okay, so what is a green drink? I guess it depends on who you're getting it from, but for the most part, we're talking about things that are supplementing your vegetable intake. My family calls it pond water. Let's face it. It doesn't look very appetizing, and I know I'm selling this very well, but I don't eat a lot of vegetables, or at least not nearly as much as I should. And so I try to make sure that I am getting sort of the vitamins and nutrients from vegetables without maybe actually having to chew on one. So I have decided through extensive research to go with a brand called Live Conscious Daily Superfood Blend called Beyond Greens. And it has things like matcha in it and a bunch of other things, vegetables, stuff I can't pronounce. But it is a green powder. You mix it in with some water and you just drink it, right? Like you can get this at a juice place if you want to see them take a bunch of grass and blend it up together and drink it. Or you can get it in this container and for significantly less money, because you're not spending $10 for a drink. You can have it daily. You can put it in your flight bag. You can drink it in the morning. That's what I do. I just find that from a health standpoint, I'm getting some of those vitamins that I wouldn't get otherwise. So there's a ton of different brands out there. Figure out what makes sense for you, but that's kind of my recommendation. And the nice thing is, and you'll see as I go through this list, that I actually will sometimes mix some of this other stuff in with the green drink because I take it because I think it has health benefits. I don't take it because I think it tastes good. So any way of making it taste a little bit better sometimes helps. So that's number 5. Number 4, and Lachey Bacon, I think she'll be very happy with me. After having done 2 episodes with Lachey and Mile High Health Club, she has convinced me that protein is important. So I have instituted a protein regimen that I've never done in my entire life. So obviously there's different types of protein. I have gone with whey protein. What it does is basically it just kind of helps your body recover a little bit better. It gives you a little more mental clarity. A lot of this stuff does that. It also helps you in your exercise. I've tried to implement a little bit more of an exercise routine. So I'm feeling like I'm maybe building a little bit more muscle than I would have otherwise done, but it just makes you feel better. And Geeta has talked about how we just don't know how much our body needs protein until we actually start taking it. And it's kind of hard to describe how it feels once your body starts getting the protein that it needs, but you just feel better. And I will admit that's something that I have noticed in myself. So I have started a daily routine with the protein as well. And I mean, there is the ratio of how much you need. I just do 1 scoop. Again, there's really not a whole lot of negative side effects, if any at all. It just makes your body feel better. Obviously, any of this mixed in with exercise is a good thing too. Not because exercise necessarily does more to activate whatever it is, but what we do know is that exercise just continues that progress towards mental clarity, towards relaxation, towards all of those things that will increase your performance overall. So consider exercise on top of all of this stuff. I actually like the brand Transparent Labs, not paid by them. This is not an advertisement for them. I just have done a lot of brand comparison, and that's what I've settled on. And I'm kind of a child. Let's face it, they have a strawberry milk protein, which tastes like strawberry quick, and that's delicious. So yeah, I'm 5, but it tastes amazing. So find the flavor that works for you. That's number 4. Number 3, this one's a little bit out there, I suppose. This is not a daily thing for me. This is more of when I'm studying, when I'm prepping for a check ride, when I'm in the midst of training, I will take something called Consciousness by the Genius brand. Reading the bottle right here, it talks about being super nootropic and brain boosting formula. Those are all things, buzzwords that we all have learned to see, nootropic being one of those things. Basically, it's just saying that it has some of those sort of nootropic ingredients like lion's mane that helps you retain information. It helps you concentrate. And there's a little bit of caffeine in here, so don't take it before bed if you're affected by that sort of thing. But I have really noticed that when I do take it, I can focus a little bit better. I can study harder. I can retain information for longer. So something that I have found useful. Again, if you're allergic to mushrooms, don't take this. But it's not something I take every day. It's just something that when I'm trying to make sure that I perform at a certain level, I'm trying to retain things to a certain level, it's something that I like to do. So all of this can be found on Amazon. I can share links in the end. Something to look into. It's a little bit different. Again, maybe it's placebo, but I like taking something to know like, oh, this number that I struggle to remember, maybe I'll remember it because I can remember concepts. But remembering numbers specifically, especially down the line, oil pressures, oil temperatures, altitudes, it's hard. So I just don't have that kind of memory. So this helps with that. Number 3. All right. So number 2, this one is also becoming very popular nowadays, and that's ashwagandha. Now, it is a root. I don't remember where it's found. Asia, India, somewhere. I don't know. But you can get it in supplement pills. You can also get it mixed in with things. I think there's anything from cereal to gummies to all kinds of stuff that you can take. And basically what it does is it just kind of helps sort of lower that cortisol a little bit, lower that stress level in certain situations. And what I've found is, if I'm in a stressful situation where my stress would be an 8, it just kind of rounds that corner a little bit. It brings it down to maybe a 6. And it's something that you can take as a daily supplement. It's something you can take kind of as a get out of jail free, take in the moment kind of thing or before the moment. I don't think it's quite as effective if you do it that way. But again, you can kind of experiment a little bit with that. It has no bearing on, motor vehicles or operating machinery or any of that kind of stuff. So there should be no issues from a pilot standpoint, but also consult your physician on those. That does have a little bit of a side effect. If you are opposed to maybe a little bit of a rumbly tummy, that would be something to make sure you're prepared for. If you're stuck in an airplane with another person in a closed environment, they may not appreciate you very much if you catch my drift. But I can tell you that over time that does go away. Your stomach settles on it and, you get sort of those daily effects of that. So something to consider. I know there's a ton of different brands out there. I just usually do something from GNC because at least then I know where it's coming from and it's a trusted brand. So that's something that I do. And lastly, again, another conversation with Lachey Bacon. So if you're listening to this and you haven't heard it, go back and listen to her episodes because she is somebody who knows what they're talking about, unlike me. And we've had this discussion about creatine. This is my number one suggestion here. And what I have found from all of the research is not only is it going to be beneficial to you from a exercise standpoint, you'll build leaner muscle, you'll hopefully build a little more muscle than you otherwise would, but it also has a lot of mood boosting potential and benefits. There's been a ton of studies on how it can make you feel more positive. It can help you retain information. It can help you build more neural pathways. Geeta would be proud. I'm using fancy words. And I have taken it now for a few months, and I have actually really noticed a difference. I do feel from a mental performance standpoint that I am exceeding where I was previously. Now, there's also some detractors out there with, are there issues from a health benefit standpoint? I actually did consult my physician on this one, and he said that the issue is in your kidneys, and it's how they measure your kidney function with what's called creatinine levels. And he said that creatine does affect your creatinine levels, but it doesn't affect your kidney function in a negative way. It's how they measure those functions based on numbers. So if they see a spike in your creatinine, they think that there might be something wrong. But if you're doing that artificially, then he's like, that's actually not a bad thing. So again, get your own research, get your own information. But according to the research I've done and the talks I've had with my own physician, there's not a lot of, if any, negative side effects to creatine from a body health standpoint. And I have seen nothing but positive results from that. So take what I have experienced with a grain of salt. Those are the 5 supplements that I either take regularly or am currently experimenting on from myself or use as a way to prep for something really important like a check ride. Now, I have 2 other things that I thought I would add, sort of piggybacking on the non-aviation apps, but also related to this discussion. So if you're going to be taking any of this stuff to enhance your studying, I also recommend, as we've talked about in the past, Binaural Beats. Okay. This is something that can help you focus. It can help you retain information. That's the trend in this episode, I suppose. I just have had really good results. Now, you need actual over the ear or in ear headphones to use because it affects one ear differently than the other. So if you play it in a car or somewhere else, which I don't recommend, it's not going to give you the same effect. But I will use a couple different apps for these things, and one of them is called Brainwave. I think it costs like $2 or $3 on the App Store, but what it allows you to do is select the sort of brainwave sound that you want. And in my case, usually it's either the sleep one, which really helps me, or there is a focus and memory boosting one. And you can either choose from their sounds that they already have preloaded, or you can make it so you can play whatever you want. So you can listen to a podcast, you can listen to it over top of your own music and then study away and hopefully remember all of that information significantly better. The last thing is with all of these different brands out there in terms of the supplements and things, maybe there's something that you take that you like. It's hard to know without FDA clearance on any of this stuff. Who knows what brands are good, what supplements are good, how they interact with each other. That's a big one. So if you're taking multiple things, understand that sometimes 1 being good and 2 being good, but taking 1 and 2 together could be bad. Make sure you get that. But I use an app called SupCo, and you can scan the barcode on the supplement and it will tell you, is the brand of the supplement a good one? Do they skimp on ingredients? Do they give you natural ingredients? Is the marketing the same as what actually happens when you take it? So there's a ton of those apps out there. You got to sort of consider the source. Are they working for certain brands or whatever? Obviously, those would be the ones that you don't want to use. So make sure they're run by a third party. But again, that's a brand that I use. So I scan all of mine in there and it tells me, are they good? Do they interact? That sort of thing. So that's all I've got for you. I appreciate you listening. Hopefully it gives you some inspiration on things you might want to do or not do, I suppose. If you're taking something that you think has improved your life, improved your health, and is, of course, legal for pilots to take, let us know. calmcockpit@gmail.com. I'm always interested to find out other tips and tricks. Mental performance being a huge thing for us. How do we bring the temperature down on a flight, on a check ride, on a networking event? Who knows what it could be? But we appreciate you listening. Give us a 5-star review if you could. We have not nearly as many of those as I wish we did. Every little bit helps us get out into the world a little bit further. So please do that if you can. Share us with your friends. And until next time, fly smarter and stress less.
Boston Tower 1 departure is Airbus 321. Traffic holding crossing runway 33 left, 3 lane.